everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Season 2 of Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we were overcoming grief and we had some twisted paws. This episode is so exciting! I was losing a little bit of hope in terms of seeing any kittens in the near future because Hemlock has been taking like a sweet time getting pregnant. But guys, we actually have a pregnancy notice. I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's get into it. It is the second turn of Leaf Bear. We are now at moon 106. Let's dive over to the leader's den. We have all of our alliances under Queen Rainstar. And now on to events, the exciting bit. Icicle Speck tells himself that he can't let these feelings consume him. Instead, he has learned to live with it. So our royal physician is back in good health. He has thankfully managed to overcome his grief. And then, guys, Hemlock announced that she is expecting kids. The queen's right hand is finally pregnant. Royal Clan wants to congratulate Hemlock, but the rising celebration is interrupted by Hemlock snapping, completely unprovoked, that this pregnancy doesn't make her a wilting flower and she will not be moving her nest. Oh, Hemlock, I guess she has some mixed feelings about, finally getting that litter. But I am so happy that this is finally the case. Like, I cannot wait to see the kittens or kitten that she and Bearpelt will be having. To be honest, at this point, like, I don't even mind if they have a single kitten. I think it would be good, though, for us to start having females. Especially since we already have Fierce Paw. I think it'll be good to build up those numbers for when we finally get to the clan-born males who aren't like related to these particular females. Yeah, I think that would be, because a lot of the relatives for these females are the older cats we want to be breeding. So, once we've gone through those, it'll be good for us to build up some of our numbers for the unrelated cats. Okay. How's everyone going? Everyone's doing good, except for Garlic Glove, of course, who still has that twisted paw, but thankfully she, is not required to go out on patrol, so she can rest up quite well without any pressure on that front. Okay, let's check up the medicine cat den. Icicle Speck was given Poppy as treatment for grief-stricken, and then he recovered. Garlic Glow was given Dandelion as treatment for his sprain, and Icicle Speck could not find any herbs this moon. Okay, we just have, a pregnant cat. We have a cat with a sprain and nothing minor or in the den. Let's see what's going on with relationships. Icicle Speck tells Flare Freckle romantic stories of old. Okay. Now, I don't know if Icicle Speck and Flare Freckle have anything going on. Fascinating. Icicle Speck shares nest material with Quill Runner. So he's having a good time with one of his mates. He practically has, it's not all female mates. He's got a male and a female mate. Otherwise, I would say he's practically got like a harem going on. Inkfeather gives Shining Stripe a big piece of fresh kill. Shining Stripe and Ghost Feather always back talking to each other. Flare Freckle learns that Inkfeather told a clanmate one of her secrets. Flare Freckle acknowledges Cinnamon Tail with a twitch of her whiskers. Let's see, Bearpelt notices that Fierce Paw brought him a big piece of prey. And hold on, backing up with Flare Freckle, and she was hearing romantic stories from Inkfeather. Oh, never mind, Inkfeather. I was mistaking her for Icicle Speck, because I was going to say Icicle Speck was flirting her up, and then, well, I can't say flirting her up, but telling romantic stories, and then he told her secrets to someone. But no, that was Inkfeather. I was mixing the cats up. Okay, Bearpelt could spend hours listening to Foxclaw's voice. Of course. Inkfeather is prancing around in front of Quill Runner. Okay. Inkfeather feels a little safer when Foxclaw joins her in the clearing. Of course, it's her son. That's cute. Quill Runner likes the way River Whistle laughs. Okay, we know Quill Runner quickly developed a hatred for Cinnamon Tail and then quickly developed a bit of a crush on River Whistle. Not long after River Whistle and his sibling became warriors, but I feel like that has been quite stagnant for a long time. But it seems as though he's finally kind of picked up a little bit. He's noticing River Whistle, once more. And then Quill Runner thinks that Cinnamon Tail stole one of his ideas. So yeah, he dislikes one brother as much as he likes the other. Foxclaw and River Whistle keep making each other yawn. Foxclaw is telling Fiercepaw about a hunting technique. Ghostfeather starts to plan things, hoping that Hemlock will get involved. Ghostfeather's friend doesn't trust Fiercepaw. Oh, how surprising, because Ghostfeather doesn't trust Fiercepaw either. Freezefur overhears Hemlock humming a comforting tune. Freezefur makes all kinds of faces whenever Fiercepaw is brought up in conversation. Really? I wonder if Freezefur was the friend of Ghostfeather who doesn't trust Fiercepaw. That would be fascinating. Garlic Glow has been spending time with Flarefreckle lately. Garlic Glow offers to groom a hard-to-reach place for Cinnamondale, who thanks her earnestly. This is mother-son bonding, isn't it? So that's kind of cute. Queen Rainstar and Freezefur bring each other prey. Queen Rainstar, gets hit with waves of envy whenever Cinnamontail is laughing with friends. Cinnamontail and his mother Garlic Glow enjoy the rain together. That's so cute. River Whistle and Hemlock learn a skill from each other that they've been envious about. Bearpelt stands up for Hemlock during a patrol. You know what? As flirty as Bearpelt is, he really is protective of his beloved cats, and I can't fault him for that. Like, he actually steps up, you know? Yes, he gives his love away a bit too easily, but he actually does step up when he needs to. Hemlock thinks that Fiercepaw stole one of her ideas. Fiercepaw can't stand hearing about how helpful Quill Runner is, and that's all we have for the events, so let's wrap up over here and move on to the cat list. Okay, it is time for us to continue with the cat list, and I noticed so many more changes across relationships in this episode. But okay, quick reminder on our loyalties over here, and let's get started. So the first cat that I noticed something with was Icicle Speck. Icicle Speck has had a romance gain with Flarefreckle, and at first I was caught off guard, but apparently they have had a thing going on for a while. So yeah, he already had something going on with Flarefreckle, so this isn't like a new romance or anything. But definitely, you know, him spending time with her, telling us stories of old, I think it has maybe reminded him of what like a beautiful cat that Flarefreckle is. Personally, I feel like let me take a look. Personally, I feel like Flarefreckle is the most beautiful female in the clan. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, I think Flarefreckle is the prettiest female in the clan. So I can totally see how Icicle Speck would be absolutely, like, you know, yes, he is responsible towards the cats, largely, that he pursues, you know, any sort of romantic something with, but I think he's being reminded of how beautiful Flarefreckle is, because, you know, he's telling her these romantic stories, probably looking into her dark blue eyes, her beautiful ocean blue eyes, and then she's got that, like, the raspberries on her fur, which kind of looks like a rose. Like, it's just so pretty, you know? It's just so pretty. So that was one thing. The next cat I noticed something with was Inkfeather. So Inkfeather has actually had a romance gain with Quill Runner, and I think this was the pair that at one point I thought was gonna, you know, happen and become something, and I was actually really, really vying for them before Quill Runner decided to take things off kilter and, you know, become mates with Icicle Speck, or become his second mate. Yeah, he kind of screwed things up, and I think around that time Inkfeather was growing distant from Quill Runner, but it seems as though they've kind of rekindled, you know, whatever, like, the friendship between them a little bit more. And what was going on between them in this episode? So Inkfeather is the one who was prancing around Quill Runner. Okay, so she kind of took the step forward towards him. The next cat I noticed something with was with Shining Stripe. So Shining Stripe, guys, has had a romance loss with Ghostfeather. I think Ghostfeather is maybe one of his, like, lingering romances from before he and Rainstar were a thing. But yeah, he and Ghostfeather, it's been stagnant for a long time, but recently, like, they've been back talking to each other so much, and things are getting a little bit bitter between them, and Shining Stripe is realizing that, yeah, the memories that maybe he had with Ghostfeather maybe a little bit skewed, and he's like re-looking at them in a different way. And so, yeah, his feelings have gone down quite a bit. And maybe this is like the remnants of whatever feelings he remembered having for Ghost Feather has gone down. The next cat I noticed something with was Flare Freckle herself. Flare Freckle has had a romance gain with Icicle Speck. So even like from her perspective, yeah, I think those stories really made her, like it reminded her, I think, of why Icicle Speck is so popular. Like he's just so good at talking and, you know, conversing with cats, making you feel like you're the only one in the world. So yeah, I think she really enjoyed the romantic stories with him. And because she's playful, I imagine there was quite a bit of teasing going on there as well, and some flirtation. So she is in a pretty good mood. It's still not as much as the feelings she has for Queen Rainstar, but I would love Flare Freckle to just be with someone who's not going to be a problem. But she's just going for the mated cats. But a lot of these cats are like interconnecting with mated members of their clan, which is not really good. The next cat I noticed something with was Bear Pelt. Bear Pelt has had a romance gain with Foxclaw, his beloved Foxclaw. I'm pretty sure in this episode. Let's see. Yeah, he could spend hours listening to Foxclaw's voice. So they kind of talked with each other after a while of Bear Pelt being distracted by Hemlock, which I find intriguing because Hemlock got pregnant, so I would think he would give her more attention. But apparently he's been more focused on Foxclaw. Maybe he feels like he's kind of, secured Hemlock now, so he needs to put more effort into some of the other cats. There is that. The next cat I noticed something with, and this actually took me by surprise, was Quill Runner. Quill Runner, guys, is in love with Inkfeather. He's actually in love with her. She was prancing around in front of him, and he kind of, in that moment, I think, fell in love. He got reminded of why they were such good friends in the past, and, she's just different. I mean, now, I think beforehand, he wasn't allowing himself to fall in love with her because Icicle Speck was like this unattainable first love of his that he wasn't willing to let go of. And now that he's acquired Icicle Speck, now he's kind of noticing the difference between something he has, in his paw pretty much, and something he doesn't, and the difference between them. And his affection for Icicle Speck hasn't diminished at all because Icicle Speck has actually been doing, a lot to keep Quill Runner engaged and make him feel like he is a mate. But yeah, I think this moment with Inkfeather, it just made him fall in love because she's so much like him, he's realizing. Whereas Icicle Speck is not. Like, he has to share Icicle Speck with others, but he doesn't have to with Inkfeather. So, kind of curious over here. I wasn't expecting him to have a second love, but there we go. There we go. You know what? The Royal Clan cats, guys, are going a bit crazy. Like, I don't think across my other clans I've ever had cats have multiple loves. Unless I'm misremembering. I don't think so. It is kind of wild, the amount of multiple loves that our Royal Clan cats have. Like, even our vampires don't operate like this. My goodness. Okay, well, the final cat I noticed something with was Foxclaw himself. And Foxclaw has had a romance gain with Bear Pelt, but is not quite in love with Bear Pelt. He was beforehand, and then he fell out of love, but he's not in love with Bear Pelt anymore, but he definitely appreciates Bear Pelt spending time with him and, complimenting him on his voice. So that makes him feel really good about himself. And there we go. That's all we had for the cats. We obviously don't have any matchmaking to do because Hemlock is already pregnant, so let's just go ahead and see what everyone's doing for the day. Queen Rainstar just wants to be alone for once. Hemlock feels a rush of anticipation at the prospect of a successful hunt. Yeah, she's not going to let her state kind of hold her back. She wants to go out on a hunt before she gets stuffed into the nursery and told not to leave. Icicle Speck regrets not eating the bird on the fresh kill pile earlier. Inkfeather is looking up, watching the clouds roll by. Shining Stripe saw a kitty pet rolling around a two-leg garden. Flare Freckle saw a two-leg petting a loner. Bear Pelt stumbled into mud earlier and has yet to wash. Quill Runner tries to set a good example for younger cats. Ghost Feather is careful not to stand under branches with snow on them. Foxclaw can't keep up with Flare Freckle. Freezefur had a nightmare involving a two-leg trap. River Whistle spends time watching fish in the nearby river. Cinnamon Tail asks for extra work, sure that he can handle it. Fierce Paw can't stand this cold. Garlic Glow can't stand this cold. I love the idea that Garlic Glow and Fierce Paw are actually huddled together in the medicine cat den because Garlic Glow is like injured and Fierce Paw probably wanted to check in on the elder. Oh, that's adorable. She was feeling cold and then she thought maybe Garlic Glow's feeling cold and they snuggled up together. That is adorable. That is very, very cute. But okay, that is all we have for the cat list. Let's wrap up and move on to patrols. Okay, we are continuing with patrols. We currently have 86.9 prey and we need 41, so we don't have to worry about food. Our royal physician is finally in a good enough mood to be able to go out, so we'll send him first. Icicle Speck heads out into the territory to stock up on cobwebs, something the clan never seems to have enough of. Proceed. Icicle Speck finds plenty of cobwebs, gently collecting them on the ends of sticks. No cat will have the chance to bleed out, not now, with so many cobwebs to staunch their wounds. Cobwebs were gathered, and then we're going to have our 2 patrols of 6. So first up, oh look at that! So River Whistle has decided that he is going to keep Fierce Paw close to him this time around, and maybe he wants to see like how much she's improved and what she's been able to learn. So that'll be good. And then we have Shining Stripe, Hemlock, Freezefur, and Bearpelt. Okay, I feel like it's been a while since Hemlock and Bearpelt. They're never on patrols together, so this is going to be good for them as well. So let's see what they get up to. The patrol reaches Down Clan's border just as a Down Clan patrol approaches from the other side. The cats of both clans shift uneasily, waiting for someone to break the silence. Fierce Paw perks up when she spots another apprentice in the Down Clan patrol. Proceed. Before Fierce Paw gets the chance to greet the other apprentice, Fierce Paw spots her friend from Down Clan and chirps a hello. The patrol stops for a chat, and Fierce Paw peeps at the other apprentice from behind the cluster of her clanmates. Oh, that's so cute. Relations with Down Clan have improved. So this is one of the independent cat groups living in the forest that Queen Rainstar doesn't have a problem maintaining good relations with. And it seems as though Fierce Paw has a friend on the other side as well. Maybe that she met in one of the gatherings. Who knows? That's adorable though. That I think all of these little things, I really hope all of these little instances and patrols she's been going on is going to help build up her confidence in the future. Because it feels like, right, she's coming out of these very uncomfortable situations sometimes really, really well. And then finally we have our second patrol of 6 with Quill Runner, Cinnamon Tail, Flare Freckle, Queen Rainstar, Ghost Feather, and Foxclaw. So let's see what they get up to. The patrol finds a kitty pet who is interested in joining Servant Clan. They banter with the cat a bit, making them feel more welcome. Proceed. Though he declines politely, the descriptions of clan life seem to have frightened the kitty pet. The patrol has marked Coffee! Oh, that's so cute! Your clan's reputation towards outsiders has remained neutral. Who is this Coffee? Who is this Coffee that we have now met? Oh, look at this! He really does look like a coffee-colored cat. He's a male, an adult male with gray eyes, a marbled pelt, compassionate, and a great teacher. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Guys, we have so many interesting and like pretty colored cats in Servant Clan. That is gonna help with our population so much. And like the amount of females we have especially, they have like grown. I feel so happy, so secure. My sense of security is like sky high right now, you know? It's great. Okay, so now that we have wrapped all of that up, I think we can huddle in for the day and call it an episode. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.